Hey, how your mom and dad? Welcome to the Far Reaches podcast. We are four friends from Eastern Oregon who've traveled the world and wound up scattered across the U.S. Join us as we get together to talk about current events, old events, agriculture, politics, movies, books, stocks, love, and even a little bit of life. No, we don't always agree, but we stay friends and even enjoy a few laughs. We think you will too, so come on along and enjoy the ride. And don't forget, keep on reaching. Hey, don't forget to stop by our special friends at B&K Auto Salvage who help bring this podcast to you each and every week. Folks, with over 1,200 used vehicles in stock and a large selection of 4x4 parts available, that's always being updated. B&K Auto Salvage is your Eastern Oregon one-stop shopping for the automotive world. And be sure to listen very close every week for the Far Reaches promo code that's going to get you discounted pricing and bumps on those prices on that scrap. So that's our good friends at B&K Auto Salvage. Make sure you told them the Reacher sent you and listen every week for the promo code to get extra savings. Wow, that sounds safer. Hey, how your mom and them? Welcome. That's right. This is the Far Reaches podcast. We are here. We are live. We might be recorded when you're listening to us. You never know. It just depends. You might be listening to your favorite episode. This is 2027, and you're like going back to the archives. You're like, oh, that one those guys did in February or March was amazing. I can't wait to listen to it again. Whenever you're listening, we are so glad that you are. We are brought to you this time and every time by our tremendously good friends at B&K Auto Salvage in the beautiful Grand Ronde Valley. That's B&K Auto. Remember, special promo code for Being a Reachers podcast listener. Promo code LGB doesn't stand for little gray bushes. You can say it does if you want. So remember, that's going to get you discount on those parts that are pulled and a bump in the scrap prices. So if you're buying, you're paying less. If you're selling, you're getting more. Now, that don't happen every day, folks. But since you're a loyal listener, you know the Far Reaches podcast promo code LGB. Our good friends at B&K are going to hook you up. So don't forget that. Tell them the Reacher sent you. Show them your support. Give them a call if you're looking for a part, if you're looking for a pickup, if you're looking for a flatbed, a differential, an engine. Who knows what they got laying around there? Give them a call. They'll keep their eyes out for you too. So it's pretty handy. So again, thanks to our good friends at B&K in the beautiful Grand Ronde Valley. That's La Grande and Baker City and all over the Northwest too. Bo likes to drive. He likes to get up early. So make him earn his keep. So good day, kids. We got Richard cooking some eggs. I saw Joel for a second. Raleigh's checking calves. He was live a minute ago. We're going to keep rolling like we always do. But welcome. Been a couple weeks. We've all been going in circles. Richard, what's going on there, homeschool? How are you?
Oh, I'm it, aren't I?
Well, yeah, Joel for a second. And yeah, we got a little. This is a new segment called Doing It with Richard. So we're going to watch him or listen to him at least cook some eggs. He's
watching Aladdin. So
now we're going to watch Richard open a beer. Yeah, that's a good choice. You want an egg or you want to watch Aladdin? We're watching Aladdin. And what kind of? I'm surprised you don't have a more commercial type opener. But congratulations. Anyways,
I'm at the Adele house. So
okay, I was going to say it doesn't appear to be in L Town. So yeah, you're going to have some second string items in the kitchen, I'm sure.
Yep. Hey, go watch your movie. I'll cook your egg here in a second. I have two dogs. I have 2 dogs and a 4-year-old.
That's way more crazy than 2 turntables and a microphone. Also,
it is,
not quite as catchy. Yeah.
And not quite as wanted.
Well, there is that too. 2 dogs and a 4-year-old. That's outstanding.
Yeah, it's 2 turntables and a microphone that probably ended me up with a 4-year-old.
I think it is your definite DJ skills, no doubt, that Catalina's eye. Yeah. What is it, DJ Brady Burr? We could be Brady Burr. Yeah. I'm down. I'd buy a ticket.
Hang on, I gotta yell at the dogs. I'm really not very good TV. Get out of here and lie down! Jesus Christ!
The dogs or the boy?
Well, no, I'm not that mad at the boy yet.
Oh, okay, but it kind of serves dual purpose. Like he's shot across the bow. He's like, okay, Dad's in the kitchen. I know. Yeah.
So let's see.
So we'll do a 2-man reach around. That's also known, I think, as the Dutch rudder, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we're taking it. Really.
That's right. The reach around just got personal, folks. So for those of you watching online right now, congratulations.
Yes. NC-17.
They might be, yes. Probably this might be the last live we ever get to do. So
this will be the best NC-17 you've seen since Showgirls.
Oh wow, the pool scene. Yeah. Our next broadcast will come live on OnlyFans. So be prepared for that. We start off with no clothes and you pay us to put them back on. That's our yeah. Now you're gonna think about Showgirls, damn it. Anyways, to the reach around, Richard, my good sir. If you'd like to lead us off, that would be quite enjoyable.
Well, we've had a busy few weeks, so
yeah,
about May, so that's why we got calves everywhere. Haven't got the heifers to where the heifers need to be. They seem to be calving all right, so they're going tomorrow. So
excellent.
See how that goes, and it's just been busy. Not much really.
You don't know exactly what it's been. It's just been a lot of it.
Yeah, there has been a lot of it. A lot of driving. Oh, part of the reason that was busy is because, and part of the reason I'm in the Edel is because we have started preschool, and so preschool starts at 7:45 and ends at 11:45. So I have to try and get everything done between those hours, and then pick the kid up, and then go back to Lakeview to do real estate.
I thought, well, okay, that's probably working all right.
Yeah. So a lot of driving with high gas prices. So yeah, usually about last week by this time I was pretty wiped out. So the wife has been staying out here a little bit more, and we hardly, the bride and I hardly ever see each other, but we get a lot of kid time, dog time. So
yeah. Anyway. Okay, so for those listeners at home or anywhere else for that matter, you might listen at work when you're taking your 2-hour break at the bathroom for all we know. Richard, how long a drive is it, or how many miles, I suppose, from Adel to L-Town?
It's 30.
Okay.
And I drive it probably both ways twice a day. So 80 miles a day probably.
No, 30, 60, 90, 120 at least.
I did the math wrong.
Yeah.
So, and it's really hard to get anything done when you're driving in the pickup. So,
well, yeah, it's pretty windy. There's not much cell coverage. And yeah, that pretty much cuts down on both of those.
Oh, and the other exciting thing that's adding wrinkles and my hair is leaving me is I took on the role of the Edel Water District president. So it's always good to be the president when there is no water, because there's even more stuff to fight about.
Yeah, what's that? Whiskey's for drinking and water's for fighting. Yeah,
I've been thinking of that quite a bit. This that's Mark Twain quote. I actually looked it up.
Yeah,
and I said that quite a few times this last year. I'm just living it this year.
The ditches are dry, but my mouth, she ain't. Yeah, so
yeah, the whiskey consumption has gone up. So
I don't want to blame it on the good town of Adel or Plush, but that seems to happen at times.
Yeah. Oh, and I got to put a plug in for a really cool new Oregon whiskey I found.
Oh,
might be Northern California, I'm sure. Anyways, Rogue Dead Guy Ale has a distillery now, and they're brewing whiskey, and it is amazing. So Dead Guy whiskey.
Dead Guy whiskey?
Huh?
Dead Guy whiskey.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's awesome. It's probably the best local whiskey since Pendleton.
Nice. Well, I liked Rogue Ale.
And it has a completely different taste than Pendleton, so you really have to compare the two.
Oh, outstanding. I got to track that down. Dead Guy whiskey. Cool.
And it won a bunch of awards. So it's off to a good start, and they do quality work with their beers. So
I was going to say the top-notch beers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look at the head on this one. He's twitchy already. That's not good. Dead Guy whiskey. I'm going to track that down. Yeah.
So any other water district presidents out there, I would suggest you put that in your shopping cart.
It should be in your survival kit. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can.
Pendleton for breakfast, Dead Guy for dinner.
And a sensible lunch. Yeah. Of snackables or lunchables. Yeah, or snack
Couple
packs.
Olies, you're good to go.
Oh yeah, the nice. It's the water. I think Oli would be mandatory for a water district president because it is the water. Yes. Outstanding. Anything else that's popping in your head? That's pretty good so far.
No, between preschool and that and real estate and ranching, I don't have much time to squeeze out much in.
That would be pretty. Yeah.
You want to be on the podcast?
Mr. Joel, we are reaching around. Would you like to help us?
Is that a Greyhound?
That's
Like
Blue
Adobe.
Dover.
Sorry, I was
All choked up.
vomiting.
Oh, well, congratulations. Yeah. I noticed you're like a little teary-eyed. I thought you were just so excited to be here, but
Now, do you ever have a real bad gagging problem?
that's what she
So,
said.
like,
Yeah, so-
I if I gag, I often throw up. So, like,
Oh.
this happens in the morning a lot when I brush my teeth.
Mhm.
And Joel's
yeah.
sexual orientation was set for life.
Yeah. That's why he's always talking about John Wayne. It's okay now. We're not judging. We still love you. No, I often switch toothpaste because of that. It can make me like yak in the morning. Toothpaste does.
Yeah, I have a tongue scraper now. That's very difficult to use.
I said that does not help, I'm sure. Yeah, charcoal toothpaste is the one I've settled on recently. It seems to be the most either that or like Flintstones, like bubble gum, but that's never a story.
My trick is I brush my teeth with hot water now.
Yeah, I brush my teeth in the shower.
Oh, you do?
Yes, sir.
Seems like a waste of water.
While I'm conditioning, I brush my teeth, then spit it out, and then rinse conditioner, and then you're good to go, man. Yeah, it's a cycle. It's a system. It's good.
Who conditions?
Well, obviously I do. Yeah. If you're not, you're missing out, I'll tell you that. The Richard conditions, look at his shiny scalp.
Are you asking about my reach around or not?
Yeah. That's what she said. Yeah. Like
So the reason I'm late is I was at Patty's it's like a neighborhood Irish bar. I joined a darts league. Tonight
Nice.
was
I thought
tonight
last night was
practice.
darts. Oh, practice for last night?
Well, last night was like the first time our team got together,
Gotcha.
and so we played. And then I went and practiced tonight. We start Tuesday.
Nice. Solid.
Yeah. I got my
Solid.
new darts arrived today, so I was really anxious to try them out.
Yes, sir.
I'm getting pretty good. at darts.
Cool.
What else? New Oculus. Just got an Oculus.
That
Doesn't work.
goggle thing you put on?
Yeah, so I've been kind of fucking around with that a little bit. Pretty neat.
You go the Meta and the Oculus. Is that what you used to go there with?
I'm just trying to find the metaverse. Couldn't find
Okay.
it.
No signs or shit, huh? Yeah.
I came across some naked ladies though. That was pretty neat.
Well
in
done.
the Oculus. Have you ever done that?
Kinky. Not yet. No, not yet.
It feels like you're like right there in the room with them. Like it's incredible. Took a tour of the White House with Barack and Michelle.
Nice.
That was neat.
That would probably end my vision right there. Yeah. So cool.
The spirit world, baby.
Yeah. You can't see us. Yeah.
It's a real neat
Darts
piece
and
of technology.
Oculus. That's pretty cool.
Apparently, there's a better way to play games on it. I'm not aware of that yet, though.
That would make sense. Yeah. That's what I would think would be fun for. Yeah.
There's a bunch of YouTube videos you can
I always
watch.
see like commercials. They got like the hand weird grips and they're doing whatever. Oh, you see shit on YouTube, people running into the walls and TVs and stuff. That's quite entertaining also.
Since last time we met, we had our year-end review at work.
Oh, cool. You still employed?
Yeah, I got a pretty healthy raise, so I'm
Nice.
happy with that. Yeah, so that was the best thing that happened in many years.
Yeah, buckled down a little bit, and they said, "Oh my God, look at this maniac."
I didn't really have to buckle down. That's the thing.
Yeah, well, you're not supposed to say that out loud. You're supposed to be like, "Yeah, been a lot."
I did day one of a 2-day training course. It's about facilitating like online Zoom meetings, presentation skills.
Nice.
And this session 1 was about like basically determine your central message. And I thought that was the most useful, like central message. I use that in emails, but I think I could do a better job of that on my work calls. Being like, here's what we're going to try to focus on today. And then if you have the central message, if people get off track, you can pull them back in. You can be like, we can table that conversation or something else.
That sounds like another meeting. Yeah.
But then they get into the debriefing skills, and that's when they lost me on that. The guy that's facilitating it is a producer for like Pixar movies. Pretty big deal.
Interesting.
I'm like, what are you doing here teaching me?
Apparently you're a pretty big deal too. You just don't know it.
I guess. But tomorrow is the second day of that. And I have to give a presentation. I think I'm going to do, maybe you guys can help me out. I was thinking I'll do, you usually have to pick something that you know enough about,
something you have a bit of passion for. Yeah.
And that other people can follow. Like, I don't want to do anything specific. I'm not going to talk about like the Volcker rule. I'm going to talk about when I was trying to take notes and apply things to like something that I would be like a no to do. I think I'm going to do rodeo. And what do you think the central message should be? I'm thinking like either rodeo is the purest form of sport, or rodeo is not abusive to animals. Which one do you think? Then you have to come up with 4 supporting statements. So like the example they used was like, they showed a picture of banana and they said, bananas are the best food ever. And then you say like, why is a banana the best food ever? And then you come up with things. And I said, well, because it comes in its own wrapper. You can use it for scale.
Nice.
Yeah, and you know when it goes bad. And then other people contributed stuff. So I think I'm going to do.
I like the pure sport point of view because like you're paying no matter what. Like you have to pay to enter, and you don't get any money unless you win or place. I think that's pretty cool. I think how it's born of tradition. I think that would play into my central theme for sure.
Ooh, we could call it rodeo, skin in the game.
There you go. Yeah.
There's the central message right there.
Affirmative. Yeah.
It's
also unique where
unique.
You can travel with your competitors. Oftentimes. Yeah.
Here, I'll put it on the, also, the athletes in rodeo are both the cowboy or cowgirl and the animal
and the livestock. Absolutely right. Yeah. I think that would be a good way to talk about how healthy they are and well cared for, because you can't say they don't get hurt. They do occasionally, like any athlete. That would probably be my juxtaposition on that one. Like any athlete, you're going to get hurt from time to time, despite your best training and conditioning and performance. So yeah, I like it.
What else has been going on in my life? I don't know. I've just that's a pretty good update.
Not bad. As usual.
Work, darts.
Yeah. Oculus. Yeah. Harumph.
Gambling's going all right.
There you go.
Bitcoin's kind of starting to break out of the rut, and Ethereum
coming back to life.
And the Oculus. The Oculus is neat. I think I'm going to play with that a little bit after this. I'm going to try to find a game to play.
I'm going to check that out. Yeah. Isn't that funny? Like they used to say, like, don't stand too close to the TV. Now we literally strap them on our face.
Well, I did download Netflix on it. And I was watching
really?
You said,
you're shitting me.
Yeah. They have you like sitting in this like really like fancy living room. And then there's a big screen TV. Yeah. It feels like you're watching on a big screen TV, but that's
funky.
Not. By the way, I was thinking about this the other day. I call it we call it the living room now. But when you were growing up, did you call it the front room?
No, there was two actually. There was like a front room and a living room. Yeah, the living room could be like more formal, I think, for that. Yeah.
Yeah, but
We called it the front room though.
We didn't have a formal room. We just had a living room that we call it the front.
We call it front room. Yeah. I think that might stem from the fact that as a youth, I lived in a trailer, so it would have been at the front of the house. Therefore, it was the front room.
Oh, I'm sorry, you lived in a trailer? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah. I don't know why you call it a front room versus a living room.
I'm gonna have a pop in the front room.
You want you a soda pop? Yeah.
Yeah. Two people here are like, what? What are you talking about?
What do they call it? A Coke?
No, they call it soda in the living room.
Oh, soda. See, I worked with a guy I always called, hey, you want a soda pop? That's what he called it. But we always just call it pop, or like, you want a Coke? Yeah, give me a Mountain Dew. Like Coke was like the generic term for a soft drink, which some other parts of the world say soft drink.
Yeah. I used to think it was like kind of ridiculous how people here called it soda. And then at some point it just made more sense. And
you want a soda?
Now when people call it pop, it kind of makes me cringe.
Yeah. I don't even know what I call it. I usually just call it the name of what you want. Dr. Pepper? You want something to drink? We got Mountain Dew, we got Dr. Pepper, we got Coke. Yeah. Vernacular. It's interesting.
Yeah, I like getting Dr. Pepper here, and then I won't share any with Jess because they'll say it's too many flavors. Women can't handle. They had do you remember that commercial? They had a commercial where it's like women can't handle. It's too many flavors.
I don't know where the shit that
27 flavors.
23 or
Women
27.
Can't handle 27 flavors.
Obviously, like some genius put that one through. Just like, well, it's like there was that deodorant commercial for a long time. Strong enough for a man, but made for a woman. Yeah. Ridiculous. Ralls. Joel, any more of your reach around? If not, we'll go to Mr. Bixby.
No,
I'm sure you'll think of something too. Yeah, it was a tremendous reach around as always, though. I thank you for sharing it with us. Mr. Bixby, looks like you got kind of a haircut there. Looks like a bear's butt. Good day, sir.
Got them all cut.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Raleigh's Corner. Welcome
to not a whole lot going around here. Just calving cows and keeping up with the bipolar weather system.
I'm glad you said weather at the end of that statement.
Yeah. It 17 below a week ago, and now it's 41 out and water everywhere, and 2 feet of snow went to 2 inches of snow in 2 days. So
yeah, that's a great time to calf.
Splendid. Yes,
you got that going for you. Yeah,
but it's not going too bad. Fortunately, the water went off quick, but a lot of it went in the ground too. So
no, that's good. That's real good.
Yeah. Well, I can't say a lot of it, but at least today's did. Yesterday,
at least there was some there.
Yesterday was running pretty good, but the ground thawed out overnight pretty good too. So, no, not a whole hell of a lot. It seems like I've had a lot going on, but my mind isn't taking me there right now.
It happens. That's one thing about us. We can always kind of chime in later if something comes back up on your mind. You're like, oh, that reminds me. Usually we're like, well, we're going to sign off for this week, folks. Thanks for joining us. Oh, and then we'll have a nice 45-minute discussion, which is one of my favorite things that we do in this little thing. So yeah, it keeps me entertained.
No, just same old babies growing, and the calves are hitting the ground. So hopefully spring will be here soon. So.
It's we just got some Reacher feedback on the old Facebook Live, and Bo says, "What? Damn it, Richard's bald." So yeah, it's the light's really hitting nicely this evening. There, it's almost angelic in nature. And Amy says, "Good day." What was that, you maniac? What's that?
Been called angelic in a while.
Yes, maybe ever. But yeah, I had to get it out at some point. I think it's fitting. Yeah. So yeah, Rawls, you're all slicked off. You're looking happy. You're looking pretty good for no sleep and calving in wintertime. So well done, sir.
Yeah, no, hopefully get a little more sleep tonight. It's been about 2 to 3 hours a night here for about the last week. So
Yeah, that
Really?
I started wearing my
You're out in the
Apple Watch has like a thing you can track your sleep on it, you know. That's not good. Yeah, that's really I average like 4.4 hours of sleep or something like that. It's been my average. I need to stop doing it.
What are you doing, Raleigh? You out and driving around looking at your cows at 3 in the
calving.
morning?
yeah, no, when it's real cold like that, I mean, you get below 15 degrees and it doesn't take long for them to freeze the ground when they're born outside. But for the most part, I had most of the heavies in where I could get them in, and whatever was real close, I'd stick them in the barn for the night. But you still want to go check because shit gets by you with 300 head, and it doesn't take too many of those to take the profitability out of things. So you spend most of the night out there with them, but it isn't too bad. You used to wander around with the spotlight and take hours and hours and hours to cover everything, but now I just glance over everything with thermal imaging, and you can
That's so cool.
you can see what's going on right away out to hundreds of yards, and it kind of takes a lot of the work out of it. So
Can you record on that, Rawls?
yes,
Well, that'd be cool.
yes, you can. Yeah, no, it come in real handy when the state needs evidence on why their dog got shot.
Affirmative. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's cool tools right there. That's a great use of your time. It's a lot less intrusive, a lot more thorough. Especially those little boogers are going to be all tucked down and tight if they just got born too. So
ideally you want them to get up and get
Mhm.
sucked and get colostrum in their system, and so when you're within range of a light, things just don't happen the way they should, and so
Mhm.
you can set back 300-400 yards away and watch them in the dark, and it's not as invasive for them, and things will progress better. But it's a great tool. I highly recommend anybody that has to do night calving in cold weather to invest in it, because you'll more than make up your losses for it by saving calves.
Oh, I'm sure. Joel's like, oh, Kevin, I was thinking about other stuff, hanging out in the dark and watching them from 300 or 400 yards away.
I'm just thinking about how nice what a treat it would be if you're a cow and you get to sleep in a barn one night. You know, it's cold outside.
Oh, typically I bring the heifers in unless it's really bad, and then I try to get whatever I can in. But it saves a lot of extra legwork when you're out in the field. So
I'm looking at what Richard's got placed on a plate. I can't tell if it's a chunk of liver and some fiber beans or chocolate pudding. But anyways, it looks appealing. Yeah.
I wonder if Richard has one of those night vision goggle things.
No, he does not. No, not yet. He's
Get one.
saving up for the
What are you
thermal
doing?
zone. Yeah.
You can make your money back based on preventing
My
losses.
cows get run a little more rawhide.
yeah, well, Richard doesn't run into the. He probably calves at a time when he doesn't have to deal with below zero temperatures, and you might have to down there, but they're very rarely. Certainly not the snow that we get.
You should arrange your calving season so it's in like June.
You know, and that's a great point, because part of me wants to kick it back a month and get into April, but we live in such a well, I guess where I graze, you want to hit your grazing season right with your calves to get the most out of your grass. So,
great point, Joel. Match to your environment as much as possible.
Absolutely, and you want to try and have them on the ground and ready to grow as soon as they hit the grass. And so, in order to get a good uniform calf crop, I've tried to push it back as far as I can. I set my breeding dates up for between the 10th and 15th, just depending on when the bulls go in.
When you talk about grass, you're not literally talking about like lawn green grass, are you?
Well, yeah, I mean, not long.
Can cows
but-
eat that?
Oh
Can
yeah,
cows eat?
yeah. The bluegrass is what that is. But I'm
Oh, with
talking about
pretensis. Yeah.
Why don't you
native.
just collect like Brian mows his lawn once a week? That's so much grass. Why don't you feed that to the cows?
Well, that would be not very
Economical.
economical. But like I'm talking about range ground, so like we're talking pastures that are a couple thousand acres of just native. You know, you would know what Butter Creek looks like, Joel.
Yeah.
So take Butter Creek for instance. You're running on
There's not a whole lot of grass out there. It's brown.
bunch grass.
Yeah.
A lot of bunch grass.
Idaho fescue, blue bunch, wheatgrass, crusted.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're trying to make the most effective use out of your natural resources that you can. So, and that's the name of the game when it comes to timing and calving.
The other nice thing about calving in the winter when it's frozen is less bugs in the ground and nasty shit they can.
True.
It's actually more
Yeah.
sterile in the winter. I think.
That's the other thing. I mean, if it wasn't for so much added feed costs, I wouldn't mind tuning back my calving dates to December and January because it seems like it's a lot drier then.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a lot of variables that go into play when it comes to that. But
Well, not every year's drastically different to a degree too. When you get shitty weather, when you have cold, when you have wet, you're kind of going on average of an average.
well, and it just, I can't sit here and say I'm doing it like my dad did or my grandpa did or anybody else did, but when you pay attention to the folks up here and what has been successful over the years in this region and climate, it fits to be spring calving like we are. So
Nothing to like a little native knowledge.
oh, absolutely not. I mean, they learn shit the hard way at first, I'm sure, somewhere back along the lineage. So
When do you burn your initials in those little fuckers?
my
This cow
initial,
belongs to Raleigh. Keep your hands off. Yeah.
Yeah, does that happen in
Tip-
April, May?
we typically brand in the end of May, first part of June, just kind of how the weather
turn
works and what the
Dude,
weather
if I'm
allows.
in Eastern Oregon, then I'm coming up. I'm gonna help.
Yeah, no, I'd love to have you.
Brand.
That'd be fun.
That'd be
Yeah.
the top episode of doing it with Joel of all time.
Be the
Yeah,
only episode, yeah.
Well, that's now you're getting hung up on details and technicalities, and that's where we differ. But yeah. No, that would be awesome, Joel.
$40.
Yeah, after or before or after like this, I guess Jackalope Fest is later. That's in June. So yeah.
oh, it just depends. I mean, I guess the thing that keeps me from doing it in June is I'm always kind of looking ahead to potentially start haying as early as the 10th of June. So it's kind of hard to overlap the two. So
Beautiful. Anything else for that glorious reach around?
no, nope, just a
No.
nap.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty common after our source. Yeah. So let's see. Been a couple weeks, been a lot of cool, crazy stuff going on. So a couple weeks ago, myself and two maniacs from Texas and another Yahoo from Colorado, we went down to the Daytona 500, the opening race of the 2022 NASCAR season. So the Super Bowl of NASCAR, as they call it. It's kind of the big race that starts the year off. Had never been to a NASCAR race, so decided to go to this one since it's like an hour and a half away. So they have races all week, but we went to the Sunday race, went down Saturday afternoon, hung out there. We ended up having dinner at like what must have been like the Fox News / sports bar, because like in the lounge we're having dinner. Like Dan Bongino was like at one table right over here and some other folks, and then Chris Myers and Jamie McMurray from the NASCAR broadcast were at the next table right next to us as well. And then we ran into Will Kane in the bar, who's also, he used to be on ESPN as a news guy on there, and then he switched over, kind of came out as conservative, and then went to Fox News on the weekends. and so he was just on Tucker tonight, for example. But he's a UT guy. Of course, my two Texas buddies are A&M, so there was some trash talking, and so that was pretty entertaining. But I was like, dude, Will, nice to meet you, man. So pretty wild, but like that must be their hotel they stay at inadvertently, or they just decided to all be hanging out there. That it's not next to the track, it's way down on the beach. So yeah, we come rolling in, and this lady, we're like dressed in like flip-flops and shorts and stuff, and this lady's like, are you boys with Fox News? And we're like, no. She's like, well, all your people in there already. We're like, okay. And so yeah, I was like surrounded by all of them in the dinner time. So that was pretty wild, unexpected. So that, yeah,
we got to them, or
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're friendly to you.
Nice people. Yeah. Will Kane talked a little shit because he's University of Texas, and we had A&M stuff with us, but still a good guy. And like, just, like, holy shit, that's them. Like Bongino was like, everybody came up to Bongino at his dinner table and said hi, and he was really nice to everybody. Yeah. And then the whole NASCAR group was just a big round table, like literally right next to us. So they were all over the place. And there's probably a lot of the folks we didn't see or recognize or whatever. So yeah, that was Saturday night. And so and Sunday we wandered down to the track. We got there at like 9 when it opened, because we had like infield passes. It's called the fan zone or something. So there was like concerts and drivers, and they had like there's some tech college sponsored a lot there. They tore down an engine and rebuilt it in like 12 minutes, and it fired up. Like that was pretty cool on a stage. And you got to go walk around the track and check out both sides of pit row. And so like, standing on like the track is like super steep. Like you almost eat shit and fall down it when you're walking back down. So we got there at 9. Race started around 3. And so we kept ourselves highly entertained at all points in between, and then got to watch the race and stumbled home that night, and then got up early the next morning and drove back to Gainesville and dropped my buddy Jeff off. He flew back like 10 o'clock in the morning, and then Jimmy down to Warren flew out around 2 o'clock that afternoon. So that was a total kick in the ass. I think just the scale of that place is absolutely mind-blowing, how big it is, and the sound every time the cars went by. I still get tingly just thinking about that. So super cool, awesome people. Richard, Paul Parmentier and his wife Mary, and Sean and I can't think of Sean's name's wife from Lakeview were all there too.
Miranda,
yeah, thank you. Sorry, Miranda. And 2 of their friends from Alaska also came down. So yeah, they were in town. They all came over Thursday to my house, so we barbecued and had some beverages here at the place. And then 2 of my buddies hadn't made it into town yet. They got in later that night, so they came in later too, and we all raged around the table. And so I cooked a shitload of steaks that weekend, had a few beverages, and it was golden. So yeah, and then I was back in the office on Tuesday, and then Wednesday I took off for Wisconsin for a sales trip. So I went from Daytona to Wisconsin, which is about 5 degrees and snowy. So that was good. A little shock. Yeah, a little shock. But hadn't been on a sales trip in, I don't know, 3 years, probably 2 years at least. So, going around and got some meetings scheduled. We flew into Milwaukee and then wandered around to like La Crosse and Madison, and flew back Saturday morning. And so that was pretty cool. And then had my first alumni board meeting for good old EOU while I was on the road as well. So that was fun to see all those maniacs. And that was our first meeting, or my first meeting anyways. So quite entertaining, but been going pretty steady since then. And of course, work keeps me kind of busy also. So never dull. Yeah. Suppose that's the highlights. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. It was fun.
Get away from
do you guys ever get notifications on Facebook, people you may know?
Yeah.
I swear to God, like once a week I get something. It's like one person knows it, and it's Ivan Bigsby. It's like these absolute smoke shows. Do you guys get these?
Oh, well, I ignore those. Yeah. Because it's some dude in a basement in Beirut, probably. But,
no, yeah. One friend.
Mm-hmm.
The one friend is Ivan,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So either they're
yeah.
fake or he knows them. One of the two. Yeah.
I bet he knows her. She's from
There's at least a
Alabama.
50-50 chance. Some of them probably not, but or if all they have is like weird looking dude friends, yeah. So I ignore 99.9999% of the stuff I see on Facebook. Yeah.
He even travels a lot, so he just knows people, right?
Yeah, he does collect people pretty well. Yeah. Kind of stands out, you know, and you got a half bus morphodite thing in the trailer behind it. People notice you. Yeah.
Just living the dream.
Remember that, Rawls? We were sitting out in front of Como's and this freaking some Dodge pickup pulls up with this duct taped on freaking sleeper. And I'm like, look at this son of a bitch. Looks like something Ivan would drive. And Raleigh's like, yeah, it is. And I'm like, no, that's what I'm saying. He's like, no, that's freaking Ivan. He just rolled in from Texas. I was like, oh, Jesus, I'm accurate. Yeah. Little bastard. Yeah. Richard, you're having a Coke. Looks like you have steak and onions. Is that what you got going on there, home skillet?
Steak and mushrooms.
Shrooms. Nice. Are you carnivore dieting?
That's a bubbly.
Ooh, Michael Bublé. Yeah. Oh, so it's like a sparkling water kind of thing, huh?
Yep.
So your carnivore diet?
Yep, pretty much. I'm eating some oranges and I'm going to have some corn because that's all they had at the plush store tonight.
Sure.
So,
Sure.
yeah.
Makes sense.
Mushrooms and corn. Or green beans. Not a big selection at the plush store, but they do have something.
Yeah, but that's about all you like anyways. Yeah. So. I'm slowly weaning onto that. Yeah. I dislike potatoes too damn much, but
Yeah, I haven't had potatoes in months.
Damn, I admire you. Yeah.
But I had shrimp. Oh, damn it. This is documented proof. It's Ash Wednesday. I'm not supposed to be eating meat. I totally forgot.
Oh, it's okay. You're Nadella. It doesn't count.
Yeah, I guess not.
This is actually filmed on Tuesday. It's like we're not live. Yeah. So
I don't know enough about Ash Wednesday. You can't have medium meat.
Any
Can't have meat.
Yeah, meat.
At all.
Fish. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I saw a bunch of people today out. I didn't realize it was Ash Wednesday until I went to the darts practice. See all the people with the fucking thing on their forehead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the place called Murphy's. The odds are pretty high.
It's Patty's. Paddy. I'm gonna
Patty's.
guess.
Yeah, Patty's.
Yeah. Don't stereotype, Richard.
Okay.
Don't appropriate, Richard. Yes.
I didn't know that was a thing until I moved to New York.
I can just say odds are pretty high if you go to a bar, you're gonna see people with ash on their head.
Sometimes it's even for religious purposes. Yeah. That's awesome. Hey, you guys want to talk about the movie we watched last time? A little entertainment spotlight.
What was it?
Fuck.
It's been like 3 weeks, man.
You fucking picked it.
Was it Old Henry?
Yes.
All right. Did you guys all watch it?
I did. Richard failed.
Richard, God damn it, Richard.
Damn it, Richard.
I got Aladdin on in the next room.
I know.
It's Aladdin and Transformers all the time.
I can't blame you there. Those are two quality units. There's something.
You guys love westerns. What the fuck are you doing?
I don't know. Look at Rawls. Rawls is like, do I have TV anymore? I don't know. Yeah. He was gonna look it up.
Where his TV is.
Distracted. Yeah.
He has to ask Kelly where she keeps the TV.
Yeah.
You watch this less than I do.
That's impressive. Yeah. So now we can't even really ruin it for you. We should anyways because we're dicks. Yeah.
No, we can't talk about it.
We wouldn't do that.
I'm counting down the days until the cows get turned out on pasture.
Then you can have some more.
Like watch movies again.
Yeah.
Dude, well, I was so happy to see Sam Elliott spoke. He made a pretty controversial statement about that movie. I think it's called Power of the Dog. It was advertised as a Western.
Oh.
And I think it's nominated for an Oscar. I went to that in the movie theater and I thought it was just an awful movie.
Power of the Dog?
Yeah. It was.
If it was called Downward Dog, I might watch it.
I hated it. And So it was really nice.
Are you
to
sure
see
it's called
Sam.
Power of the Dog 2021? Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
Our good friends here at IMDb, charismatic rancher Phil Burbank. Oh, it's got Benedict Cumberbatch.
It
I
does,
like his
yeah.
acting. I don't know if he would be my choice of a Western dude or not, but
It also has Landry from Friday Night Lights, and he's nominated for an Oscar in it.
I never watched that.
But
It's got that
he
weird
just
looking blonde dude that always creeps me out.
yeah, that's Landry.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Is he the guy from Band of Brothers?
I don't think so.
No, is he? What's his?
He was in Battleship. You ever see Battleship, that documentary?
Doesn't really help either. Documentary, I'm sure. It's got Kirsten Dunst, that weird dude. I don't know what I saw. He just creeps me out. Yeah. I saw him in something on the plane the other day. Somebody in front of me was watching a movie and he was in it. And I'm just like,
he's an excellent actor. He's
yes, he's kind of like generic Philip Seymour Hoffman to me or something. Yeah. That's how I equate him. But he might be a tremendous actor. I just don't like the person. So, anyways, completely.
And Philip Seymour Hoffman wasn't generic.
No, this asshole is a generic Philip Seymour Hoffman. Philip Seymour Hoffman was a genius.
Say his name. What's his name out loud?
Who?
Landry.
I don't fucking know. I don't even know who Landry is.
I thought you were looking at IMDb.
I can't find him on there. Yeah. Is it Jesse Plemons? Is that him?
Yes.
No, that's him. Okay.
Yes.
That's him.
Yeah.
That's the dude. I just don't like him, dude. Yeah. So the Irishman.
Have you ever seen Battleship?
No, I have not seen Battleship.
You got to watch Battleship. It's a great movie.
You called it a documentary, so that made me giggle a little bit. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Anyways, you were talking about Power.
What
about Power of the Dog? To get you back on our central theme, Joel, Power of the Dog was your central theme, and you're supposed to tell us the 4 reasons why you were glad Sam Elliott said something.
4 reasons? Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm using your own training on you, Richard, or Joel.
I have no training.
That fucking ship sailed. Yeah.
Well, okay. It wasn't a true Western because it focused a lot on the character who I think was a LGBTQ character.
When his brother brings home a new wife and her son, Phil torments them until he finds himself exposed to the possibility of love. Okay, then.
Yeah, I don't know those words in a combination. I don't even know what that means.
I wasn't making it up. I was reading it.
I know,
okay.
but they put words together. And
does he steal his brother's wife? That would be classic.
No, he's gay.
Oh, but that's how he gets exposed to the possibility of love.
I don't remember. I was pretty drunk.
Okay, so he was. So you're saying he is okay. Gotcha.
The
Benedict is.
What do they call it in a movie when the scenery? What is that called?
Cinematography.
Cinematography.
Yeah, the cinematography was fantastic. It was a pretty picture to watch, but
get out of here.
Yeah, if that's the high point, then yeah, probably sucks.
So Sam Elliott was criticizing, and apparently the director, I think, is maybe from New Zealand.
Jane Campion. Wow, she is she's from New Zealand. Yeah. Now she lives in Sydney. Yeah.
If you're on your computer there, look up just Google Sam Elliott, Power of the Dog.
Well, I was looking up.
Read his quote about it.
Quite the interesting individual.
But Raleigh, don't worry. We're talking about Power of the Dog, not Old Henry. Old Henry, fantastic. Power of the Dog, terrible.
So this is from do you consider New York Post accurate?
Yeah, that's
Sam Elliott rips gay themes in Power of the Dog, calls it a piece of shit. Yeah. So,
I didn't hear that.
That's what it says in the quote, like calls it a piece of S-T. I thought, well, I can say shit if I want to. And so the 1883 actor dropped a shocking bombshell during a recent appearance on Mark Maron's WTF podcast. You want to talk about that piece of shit? The 77-year-old Tombstone star sputtered when asked for his thoughts about the provocative Netflix movie. which is a contender for the Best Picture and Best Director Academy Awards. Of course it is. For the uninitiated, that would be us. The much praised The Power of the Dog stars Benedict Cumberbatch as a closeted gay rancher in 1925 Montana who's abusive toward his new sister-in-law and her son. Interesting take. Yeah. That's what all these fucking cowboys in that movie look like. Chippendales dancers who wear bow ties and not much else. They're all running around in chaps and no shirts. There are all these allusions to homosexuality throughout the fucking movie. At that point, Marin informed Elliot that those themes are what the movie is about, whereupon the Roadhouse actor doubled down on his remarks. Where's the Western in this Western? I mean, Cumberbatch never got out of his fucking chaps. He had 2 pair of chaps, a woolly pair and a leather pair. And every fucking time he would walk in from somewhere, he was never with a horse, maybe once. He walked into his house, storm up the stairs, go lay in his bed in his chaps and play his banjo. It's like, what the fuck? He did say that despite the actor being a brilliant director, yeah, I love her previous work, but what the hell does this woman from down there in New Zealand know about the American West? So
that's the quote. That's the quote I heard about.
Oh, interesting. So all the other stuff really kind of blew over, but I love her previous work, but what the fuck does this woman from down there in New Zealand know about the American West? Elliot fumed, further criticizing her decision to shoot the Western in her home country. So that's why you like cinematography. That's interesting.
Yeah, seriously, you have to to get nominated for an Oscar. You have to, if you want to make a Western, you have to be a foreigner, a woman, and
It's a trifecta.
have it with LGBTQ themes. Like that's not a fucking Western, man.
Yeah. So like here, like Sam's like, I just came from Texas where I was hanging out with families, not men, but families. Elliot continued in an attempt to bolster his case that she got the cowboy lifestyle completely wrong. Big, long, extended, multiple generation families that made their living and their lives were all about being cowboys, he says. And boy, when I fucking saw that movie, I thought, what the fuck? Where are we in the world today? God, it sounded like he was a little bit rampagey, which is kind of cool. Suffice it to say, Elliot's comments did not sit well with progressive cinemaphiles on social media, with one tweeting, "Holy shit, do I like Sam Elliott a lot less now." Well, congratulations.
That's interesting that he said that on Marin. I haven't listened to WTF. That's the name of his podcast, but I haven't listened to it for a while. I'm gonna have to dig that one up.
Yeah.
He's a really good interviewer. I like Mark Maron.
Pretty good. Just in, Sam Elliott reinforces the whole message of the film and accidental endorsement of Power of the Dog, another road, which is that cowboy culture hasn't changed one bit and is still rife with toxic masculinity and homophobia. Congratulations. Yeah. So
that's directed at
I like Sam Elliott, but someone probably needs to remind him he's an actor from Sacramento who lives in Malibu, not an actual cowboy. Okay, that's kind
he's from Portland. I keep hearing that.
He lives in Portland. He's got a house around Brownsville over in the valley. Yeah. Affirmative. Yeah. So I had not heard all that hubbub. Yeah.
Yeah, with the war and everything, it was hard to miss that.
Oh, yeah. What war? What? Are you crazy? Yeah.
It's no war.
Yeah.
It's all propaganda.
Wag the dog, Richard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hadn't heard about Sam. That's interesting.
I think it's getting more warlike right now, though.
Yeah, they're bombing the crap out of him, basically. So, yeah. I've got the let's see what's on right now. It would be so it's Laura. Laura just came on. Yeah.
You guys watched the State of the Union last night?
I did not. No.
I recorded it and watched it later, but it was interesting to say the least. I feel like he was parroting. I mean, Donald Trump could have easily delivered that same fucking speech.
That's what I heard. Yeah. Like the first part was about the war, and the second part was like fund the police, secure borders.
Yeah. Not a mask in sight, except for the two weird people sitting off to the sides.
Oh, that's funny.
I've never noticed that before.
Yesterday,
Not Harris and Pelosi.
I was going to say that's another. Oh yeah, further like yesterday, he's walking to the helicopter in the middle of a field by himself with a mask on. Like, my brain hurt. Yeah. Or the day prior to the speech. Yeah. He was like headed to the helicopter. He's like literally 100 yards away from anybody, has his mask on, like walking outside. And then of course, nothing at the State of the Union. I think he had one on again today, but yeah.
So he just left out everything about that, everything about the Democratic platform over the last 6 years, I would say, maybe longer. Which is their social justice agenda. Not really even a hint of it.
No word, equity was not uttered a single time.
Yeah.
Not once. And that was like the main jerking off point, I think, in the most of the election, and certainly the first 100 days. Yeah.
So the response, right, is that the polling must be super bad.
Oh yeah.
For them to shift gears like they have, and I don't think people are going to forget, man.
I sure
on this. I think this was significant enough. Like it flipped me.
We are some of the dumbest people in the world, but I hope we don't forget. Yeah. But I appreciate your statement, Joel. I mean, that's what was it? You said it flipped you. What was the tipping point?
I don't remember. I feel like at the beginning, it wasn't that long ago that I was I still am an Obama supporter. I mean, I supported him to the end.
We've talked about this.
I did not vote for Trump. Either time. I don't. So it's been a gradual progression, and now I am solidly libertarian, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know how anybody could ever forgive the Democrats for what they've pulled over the last few years.
Yeah, I still don't know how, and it might have been already legally challenging shutting down the Keystone Pipeline. Like, I would think from a pure contractual standpoint, like if I had a contract to work on that thing, I've made purchases and leases and I hired people and this and that. And then like day one, somebody just says, no, this isn't happening anymore. Like, shouldn't that be able to be sued for? Like, wouldn't you think? Richard, what's your thoughts? You've been all through that world.
They did sort of complete the pipeline with some they alternatively routed it around. So really beating the drum about the Keystone Pipeline, that oil's still getting delivered. So, I mean, it would have been nice. They could probably still complete that section and send more oil, but I mean, it's something fun to beat the drums about, but it was sort of a, what would you say? Like a illusion.
More symbolic than anything.
Yeah, he was able to say defeated it, and then they just rerouted the oil around through other pipelines. So
is that true? I've never heard that. That's fascinating.
So they're running through other pipelines, but not this one that they were trying to start to build.
They made some pipeline. They put some pipelines in some of the places to reroute it, and yeah,
because there's a lot of pipelines already. If you ever look up the map, like that's the other thing that makes you scratch your head. You're like, how come this one? Yeah.
Well, the other thing is, oil's drastically been cut back, so there's no. I mean, the Keystone Pipeline was just one little part at the end of oil, and so the rig count grew the most. It grew in the last 2 years, or maybe 4 years. Last week, and they're still not up to 1,000 rigs. And when I left the oil field, there was 1,600 rigs running.
Okay, that's what I was curious of.
So, look, this could all be. They could get out of this in a week if they just let them go. I mean, there's enough oil there's a lot of oils probably turned off that just need to be turned back on. Okay, a week might be a little optimistic, but in 6 months,
relatively short term, yeah.
And what is that process?
I just started getting what?
Can you expand on that a little bit? Like, I keep hearing like, I've known this, I guess this is common knowledge, but like, you can't just turn something on and now you have oil. right? There's like a
Yeah,
build up.
That's why that's people's general lack of misunderstanding about shale wells.
Right.
It's
What do you
there.
have to do? What do you have to do to like turn it on and get it going?
Literally go turn a hand crank and let it into the pipeline or haul it off in a truck.
Oh, so it is immediate.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, immediate. You might have to get a workover rig there and get it primed again or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not. I mean, workover rigs are the biggest thing is building up the workforce. Like I got my first recruiter calls this week. If I wanted to go be a directional driller right now, I could name my price and I could go be a directional driller.
What's the price?
I'd probably be raking it about. Well, I'd get training at first, so I'd probably be making $800 a day. Probably get big fat well bonuses for completions and but I'm not going back to live on rigs.
Mhm.
So
and that's $800 a day. It's probably like a 14-hour day though, isn't it?
12-hour day, and I'd be working night shift. So yeah,
ask for 1,000 and you'll do it, right?
No. I mean, I made my life transition. This is what I'm doing now. So, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I could go knock on any of the service companies' doors and I could either do managed pressure drilling or anything in directional drilling. And I don't think I'd have any problem getting hired.
Wow.
So, and I'm an old guy. So.
Yeah, we're not going to argue that. Yeah.
So, but the capacity for America to produce oil is tremendous. Like, I don't know if I talked about this, but they just found another billion or more, 2.5 billion barrels under the Rockies that they didn't even know was there. And if California wanted to come online and start drilling the Monterey Shale, they could outproduce North Dakota and Texas put together. I mean, it's just. It might take a long time to crack that particular shale field, but and it'll take a while to crack the Rockies. But they learned so much learning how directional drill in Texas and North Dakota and Wyoming and Colorado that what used to take it takes half the time to figure out a formation. And I mean, when I start drilling horizontal wells, it took 45 days to do a well. When I left, they were doing it in 72 hours. So.
Good God.
What's in Alaska? There's a lot of oil in Alaska, right?
Yeah, totally different type of drilling. I think it's oil trapped under salt derms in a big reservoirs. I mean, shale's really a cleaner oil. That's the thing. The reservoir oil is sort of a dirty oil. And actually, when we transferred to shale, we actually had to send the shale to other countries because it was such a clean oil. And then we imported like Russia and other oil into the United States to process it. So we did this big flip flop with it. So we can refine our own clean oil now. And the other thing that's absolutely mind blowing that most Americans don't know is the tremendous amount of gas that gets flared off in the shale fields. And that's just a matter of getting the NEPA permits to pipeline that into natural gas refineries. And virtually, like North Dakota, most of the Rockies could probably have free power and sell power outside of the Rockies, just on the gas that's being vented out of the well.
Wow.
So American energy is a joke, and Joe Biden killed it. And now they need it to save the world.
I think anytime you can be independent, food wise, energy, et cetera, whatever else, obviously that seems logical. I think obviously it's not what some policy is for sure, but like, yeah, it's a global economy, but shit happens all the time, like we're going through right now. But the more you can rely on yourself as opposed to other countries, the better off you're going to be, even if it is a little bit more expensive or it's not the most popular thing. But like, suddenly not popular because people have nothing else to freaking worry about, basically. So
the future 5 countries that are going to be the players in the world geopolitical thing are going to be Mexico, France, Argentina, the United States, and I want to say Japan, but anyways, that's the prediction of some of the geopolitical guys I read. So Mexico is
Why?
Mexico's going to see a huge renaissance because as America pulls out of the world stage, especially after COVID, we're going to need a place to produce our medicine, our computer chips, a lot of our parts and everything.
So close
And
to
we're
home.
going to pull that back to Mexico. And then South America is emerging as a sort of a powerhouse. And you can tell because I think Brazil came out and Russia, which was weird because there's so much money in China. Or China has injected so much money into them, and that's not going to sit well with Brazil or Argentina. And the interesting thing is, so all are surrounding Brazil up and down the coastline is like a 3,000 foot outcrop that stops them from getting into the interior of Brazil and getting products out. And the only river that goes through there is the Amazon. And to get into any kind of agricultural lands, or they have no oil to speak of. China has no oil to speak of. Argentina has a tremendous amount of oil. They were starting to drill shale wells when I was down there. Also has this huge port, which would rival like LA, would rival
oh wow,
Miami, New York. So it just makes it, and it has the river access into the interior. So and then France also same thing, has a tremendous amount of natural gas and oil trapped underneath it. It has the tributaries and stuff, ports to get in and out. And Japan pretty much blocks up, and as long as we bolster their navy, they'll be good. So I think that it's going to be really interesting. This Ukraine thing just kicked off something that was naturally going to evolve anyways. But I was really amazed. The one thing I learned about Ukraine is I had no idea. It's no wonder that Russia wants it. It must produce about as much food as California.
It's like the breadbasket. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because a lot of Russia, like, is just nothing.
Yeah. But they have a tremendous amount of timber. They can produce a lot of wheat. They can grow a lot of cattle. And they have, the only thing they really lack is ports and tributaries into the interior.
But they have a lot of natural resources too, right? Like oil, silver, etc.
Yeah. And the interesting thing about China's oil is it's trapped in clay, which nobody's figured out how to get it out. The closest drilling process that is the oil sands in Canada, which it's a tremendous effort to get it out. And so everybody thinks that Putin and China are in bed together, but I think that he can count on Turkey to keep China out, and he can count, if he controls Ukraine, he can control any energy flow into China and choke them off. And if America can keep up with Japan, they can choke any oil going into China. So really we can completely control China's energy other than hydropower, nuclear, and that kind of stuff, which they'd have to steal to make.
Your pop can kind of looks like a China flag right now, by the way, too. Propaganda.
Greetings, comrade. Yes.
God damn, Richard knows so much information.
Yeah. Why do you think we keep him around? It's kind of handy. Yeah.
Maybe I could ask you, Rich. Like, I keep hearing from my liberal friends. They send me these texts like there's so much misinformation. And it's on the news too. Like, there's so much misinformation about the war, the invasion of Ukraine, and I just keep hearing that. Like, wait, what's the what have I heard that's not correct?
I would say what you've heard.
That concerns me because let me finish real quick. But it concerns me because I feel like the government is doing this on purpose. And they did this with COVID and Russia, like originally with Trump and Russia. They made it so goddamn confusing. There's like, they just talk about misinformation. Like, what is the misinformation? And now they're doing this with Russians' invasion in Ukraine. They just say, well, there's a lot of misinformation being spread online. Like, what have I heard that's not true? There's no specifics. And then my buddy will just send me like a clip from like a Russian news channel. It's like, look, this is all lies. I'm like, yeah, but we're not watching that. We're not watching Russian news. Of course, that's a fucking lie.
You're missing out if you're not watching Russian news. Yeah.
Like, what is this? What's the misinformation there? I heard maybe the Ghost of Kiev, which was this fighter pilot in Ukraine that took down a bunch of Russian jets. I heard that maybe was misinformation, but so like
I don't think it is.
That wasn't very meaningful.
A lot of Czechoslovakian and Polish and probably Ukrainian pilots train with the Navy pilots. My cousin Bill had a whole bunch of foreign pilots in with it's best $8 million to train a fighter pilot for the Navy, for the Marines, and we funded other countries to train their pilots. So I can guarantee you, Ukraine probably has 4 or 5 well-trained Marine pilots or Air Force pilots that are probably significantly more trained than the average Russian pilot, and probably has better hardware. I mean, for the last 2 years, we listened to how China and Russia has better military equipment than us, and how we were so far advanced. And every time I heard all that bullshit, I was like, that is absolutely not the case. Like, China has a bigger Navy. They have more ships. They don't have a larger Navy. They don't have 6 air carriers. They don't even have as many air carriers as we've managed to build up in Japan. Japan has a bigger, more powerful Navy than China does. So, and that's by design, because if you want to control China, you control the Chinese Sea. And if you want to do that, you got to have Japan. And I can guarantee you that none of those countries around Indonesia, India are at all interested in dealing with Russia or China, and they're going to fund Japan being successful as the police of that particular part of the world. And the things that you hear that are lies is how incompetent NATO is. They're not doing a goddamn thing. They went to Poland. I think Poland's going to sprint. I think Poland's
how's that misinformation?
They're not funding them at all.
Yeah.
Zero. Did you hear about the planes that the Yugoslavian pilots went to pick up in Poland? Polish gave it to them, and NATO stepped in and said, whatever you do not blow up that 40-mile convoy. So they have 6 planes, high-tech planes that they got from Poland with strict instructions from NATO not to take out the convoy.
Why? Just because that would spark a bigger conflict?
Because then NATO would be helping them fight Russia.
Yeah, and then Russia would expand their...
Yeah, NATO's basically sitting on got their ass up their thumb, and they're sitting on it, and nobody's more fucking guilty of not saving Ukraine than our fucking country. And I don't think we should be there. I'm not a big proponent of it, but Germany can't do a goddamn thing other than posture, because Russia is sending them all their fucking fuel, and it has not stopped yet.
Yeah.
So it's a fucking joke. And the only person in that whole theater that you can count on that has skin in the game, that absolutely does not want Russia in Ukraine, is fucking Macron in France. And I think if he had more military power with Poland and probably a lot of those Baltic countries, I think they just fucking let NATO go, and they go in and take care of that. Because I mean, Sweden and Norway were the first ones to... Putin said that, if you don't settle down, hey, go out there.
We got the UN right here in Richard's kitchen. Yeah. Little UN kicking right off. Yeah.
Yeah. Putin warned Norway and Sweden that if they even started to spin up their militaries, that they were on the list for nuclear retaliation.
Oh my God. What would we do if they attacked Sweden and Norway? Or Norway or Finland?
Well, I don't know. What would we do what would we do if they attacked Ukraine? Not a goddamn thing, apparently.
Yeah.
Sweden's much more important than Ukraine.
Why would you
think
say that?
so? Agriculturally wise, it's the crossroad of the world. There's only 2 ways.
No, I know. I mean, just strictly in terms of culturally, I guess.
No, Turkey and Ukraine are 2 of the most important geographical centers in the world. They are what stand between Asia and Europe.
Well, I don't know. I mean, what I'm saying is, I think I like Sweden better than Ukraine.
And that's your right, and so be it. Yeah.
I mean, it's
Rawls, what do you got?
apparently a
Look at Raleigh.
westernized,
Look at Raleigh.
it's a
You agree with
westernized
Putin.
country.
See what
Putin
Raleigh
likes
said,
Sweden.
Joel?
No, I didn't hear
He
him.
said, apparently you agree with Putin. Yeah. So
I agree with Putin.
apparently, yeah. You like Sweden more than Ukraine. Yeah. Like
Everybody likes Sweden more than
no,
Ukraine.
screw them a-holes. I don't care about anybody over there.
What? It's a westernized country. It's like
Care? It's half communist.
you could what? You could
You're
go
just thinking
Sweden,
about babysitters and models and shit.
Our problem is that we still. Our problem is that we still hold the
Babysitters?
paradigm that
Sorry, Richard.
our problem is that we still hold the paradigm that this is the Cold War. It is absolutely not the
Yeah.
Cold War. It's something completely different, something new. And given our geographic advantages and the amount that we can now that we can produce our own energy and we have the greatest agricultural system in the world, we have no reason to be over there messing with that.
Mhm.
And it's just going to continue to implode and implode and implode. And I don't see we should be saving our powder for the fallout. We should not be over there risking our own soldiers and our own military and all that. We just need to draw back home, see how it shakes out,
What it
and
settles
try and pick
into.
up the pieces what's left over. Yeah, because this is just the beginning. So I'll stop monopolizing the conversation.
No, it's yeah. Rawls, what do you have? You've been chomping to say something, or are you just gonna? Either way, we want to hear it.
Champion.
We better
Champion
not.
is the best.
We probably shouldn't do anything with our leader.
Yeah.
Leader, yeah, that's. Did you hear Kamala's thing today about voting? Well, you know, you got what you asked for. Yeah, like that'll learn you. Yeah, like, good God.
Well,
Has
Ukraine
anybody?
is-
Okay, speaking of misinformation, I have not dug on this at all. I've just seen some ancillary things. Is there a trucker / freedom convoy in the U.S. progressing eastward, or did that not do anything? Has anybody heard? I don't know.
Well, I've
I
heard.
saw some. Go, Joel.
There was an article in the East Oregonian, and they were going to be at the gas station out there by the casino here,
Arrow.
probably around today,
Yeah.
on their way to DC. But I understood what Canada was doing because they had a vaccine requirement and you're going to get fired if you don't get it. But I don't think our truckers here are getting fired for not getting a vaccine, right? Maybe they are.
Probably depends on the company. I don't know. Yeah, they should.
It just
head to
seems
the
like
southern border and block that some bitch off. But
they've dropped it. I feel like they've dropped it all. They want us to forget about it. All the
obviously,
stuff they did,
yeah.
but
instantly it's
I don't-
gone, dude. You won't hear shit about COVID.
yeah, I'm not gonna forget. So it's kind of a moot point what they're doing. But yeah, no, it's a moot point. It's kind of silly. They probably
Yeah.
shouldn't do it. Plus, how much would it cost to drive a big fucking truck cross country? It's gonna cost
$1,200
thousands of dollars in fuel, right?
What's it per running mile now? $2,
Oh, they
$3?
probably, yeah. It's good. It's a lot. Then you have to get it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a much more boring trip going back.
Yeah, it
It's
looks
not
like
convoy anymore.
John Davis on Facebook said that they went through Pendleton today for the truck thing. So
I feel like it's a moot point at this point for those guys. But
Good on trying.
it's all about speaking up what you feel. That's awesome. Yeah. So Joel, are things loosening up a bit in your part of the world, or is it still somewhat chaotic, or what's your sit rep there?
well, I texted you guys about my
Yeah.
encounter. I went to this wine store, which was weird because the wine liquor store that I usually go to they have like multiple signs on the front that says wear a mask. So you go in there. I know going in there, I have to put a mask on if I want my booze, right? This other one over on Fifth Avenue in Brooklyn, they don't have any such signs, and I've been in there before without a mask. But this time, the other day, I went in there. And they said the guy told me, asked if I need a mask, and I said no, I don't need a mask. I said, well, you need to put on a mask, and I said that's not really a thing anymore. And I was getting a little uncomfortable because there was like 10 people in there, a bunch of people in line looking at me. Another lady, she just turned around and walked out. She didn't want to put a mask on either. And I said, do you want my business? And he's like, well, you need to put a mask on. And I said, well, okay, well then go fuck yourself. and it felt really good in the moment. The next day, though, I don't know. I just felt bad. Like the guy is just working there. I felt bad.
Yeah, but he's
attacking him, but
he didn't attack him. He's just like, well, fine, go fuck yourself then. Like, bye. Yeah. Pound sand, good day. Then I bid you good day, sir. Yeah, there's a lot of things.
Yeah, if I say pound sand, fine. But
yeah.
I felt pretty bad for saying go fuck yourself. I just love that term.
I know.
I love that
well,
saying.
He's in New
so
York.
much.
He's heard way worse as a compliment, I'm sure. So
I bet I wish I could be in the room as soon as I walked out and hear what other people.
I hope somebody took their mask off or left. Yeah. Like, well, I just sent you guys a deal tonight. Like, Bill Burr is one of my favorite comedians. I would love to go see him. I just saw the announcement tonight, like concert dates. I'm like, sweet, let's check out what's going on. Tampa, that's not too far away. Sweet, click on it. Oh, there's restrictions. And, like you have to have a negative COVID test and you're supposed to wear a mask and this and that. And I'm like, then I'm not freaking going. Man, I have to give credit where credit's due. Said it to a friend of mine in California, and he's like, that's Bill Burr shit. And I thought, that's freaking brilliant. Well done, Joe. So shout out to Joe for coming up with like, that's Bill Burr shit. But like, I'm not going to go watch his show, man. If he's going to put those things on, it's like, it's not an forum thing. It's the entertainer putting that restriction on the shows. So good day, pound sand, if you will.
I think they're good. Hopefully they'll drop it. It's been a while since we've been on. My cousin has bachelor party, and this.
I think you mentioned. I don't know if you mentioned it on here or not, but I remember hearing somewhere about it. Yeah.
The invitation email circulates, and it says I need to get a negative COVID test before I show up. I was like, no, I can't do that.
Look,
I don't
got it
want
right
to
here
that.
for you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd really like to go to my cousin's bachelor party, but I'm not going to participate in this anymore. So then, yeah, I didn't capitulate on that, and they're like, "No, come anyway."
Raleigh, are you alive? Okay. Either you're really getting like the best blowjob ever, or you're falling asleep. Maybe both. I don't know. Yeah. But boy, viewership just spiked. If you're not watching this, you guys might want to jump online and check it out. Yeah.
I was feeling tired this afternoon until I saw Raleigh, and I feel like I could probably. I feel like I'm in good shape.
Yeah. Yeah, he's doing eyelid inventory here. Yeah.
I got to go back and check here in a few hours, and then a couple times tonight. So.
Poor little bastard. Yeah, I like your. I'm not going to participate, Joel. Yeah. So it was.
Yeah, they eventually give up. I feel like it, but there's a lot of work to be done in that regard here. People like the signs are off the doors. You go into like I went into the meat store to get some steaks the other day, and everybody in there had a mask on, and I felt really uncomfortable just being in there without a mask on.
Interesting.
But there's no requirement. Nobody.
Mm-hmm. I'm
just waiting for somebody's going, and maybe they don't say anything to me because I'm kind of an imposing figure. Yeah. So there's easier targets, so they don't really do it to me. But like I'm expecting it, even though it's not like a thing anymore. It's not a requirement. They've dropped it. The CDC's even been like, yeah, without saying they fucked up. They're saying they fucked up. They revised everything. but they're still doing it here. It's a symbol. And
Yeah,
there's been
absolutely. It's
there's
been
been
since
pieces in the Atlantic.
day
and the New
one.
York
It's been a
Times.
symbol, dude. Yeah. So just smile and say, well, good for you. You know, like if you just smile and like overly friendly, it really makes them shit their pants. It's quite entertaining.
But
It only happened to me like
here.
once, but
I think there's a few places I feel like New York is one of them, and I think apparently San Francisco is one, probably LA, definitely like Seattle, Portland.
Mhm.
They're still doing it, and they do it because it puts out the
virtue blast, man. Yeah.
the virtue signal that they want to put out there, that I care about you. Like, even though it doesn't do anything, it's just like, why don't you just wear a t-shirt that says I care about you?
Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah. I don't care about you, so it's not my job.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, like, don't you care about it? It's like, not really. No,
I don't at all.
care about
like, no, go pound sand. Yeah.
I mean, I don't want you to die, but I don't.
Ralph, do you have a entertainment spotlight suggestion we can get out of you before you literally fall asleep on TV?
No, I don't. But I can come up with something, I'm sure.
Okay, put that in your brain. Yeah.
I'll
We'll keep talking
whittle on
Rona.
it here for a minute.
Yeah.
Ronnie's already got homework. He needs to watch Old Henry.
Did you see DeSantos today at Florida Tech?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's my governor, baby. Yeah. Take that shit off.
Doing that. We're not doing that COVID theater anymore. You can keep them on if you want, but you don't
take
have
them
to
off.
wear them.
Yeah. And everybody's like,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's still signs on the door to my building that says like they're expected. I just don't think they've taken them down yet. But like this past week, let's say there was like maybe 15% of the people, maybe 20 were wearing them before, and it's probably 2 now, if that. So, but yeah, and I rode up an elevator this morning with the gal I work with. Like we walked in from the parking lot together. She had her mask on the whole time. Got in the elevator. She wore a mask. She has it on all day. I do not wear one.
Does she have? Okay, so you can't say that. So you work in sort of a medical type of field. So there's got to be people
laboratory. A
lot of medical degrees. So would you say that the people that are more medically orientated are the higher group of people wearing masks, or is it people that are not medically educated?
So I would say that there's a lot of PhDs in my building. And let's say for example, on my floor, let's say there's 10 people I know that I work with that have PhDs. One of those people wears a mask. That's a PhD. And now some other folks that aren't do. I'm not making any correlations. I'm just saying, anecdotally speaking, yes. Yeah. So, and we have a lab setting, so a lot of people are working very close together. So a lot of folks in the lab wear them. Some don't, but it's a preference at this point for that deal. So yeah, it's just participating in that was the worst part about flying to Wisconsin, was wearing that diaper in the airport and on the plane. Worst part of the whole trip, no doubt. But it is what it is. Yeah. So yeah, freedom was erupting everywhere. Like March 2nd or 3rd, I guess, like the county that Madison is in was the only county in the state that still had mask requirements, but like every restaurant we went to had to sign up, and I said they can go pound sand. We would just walk in, they'd seat us, because everybody sitting down obviously didn't wear one, but I was like, I'm not putting on a mask to stand here and then go sit down. And nobody said a word anyways, like restaurants, coffee shops, anywhere else we went. So even though that county had it on their ordinance, so
they still here, they keep saying, well, it's up to the individual business if you want to keep it. Like,
well, I'm sure it is. I mean, like no shoes, no shirt, no service, I suppose. But like you said, like, do you want my business? Yes or no? I will go somewhere else. I bet you can spend in New York. Jesus Christ, dude. You go 2 blocks. There's like a repeat of every store, basically. And I'm sure you have your favorites and all, but like, it's not like most places. Like, if I'm not going to go shopping at Safeway, then where am I going to go? So, yeah.
Yeah. I went to the grocery store too, and I didn't wear one. that was also an awkward experience, just because
I just
you still have the sign up
Hey,
that says
howdy.
you
Yeah,
have
just
to,
smile a lot, wave.
and
Yeah,
everybody
really
else is wearing them.
crazy. Yeah, it's people that it's amazing how quickly we're trained and how easily we forget. And no doubt about
Went
that.
to there's a brewery here called Three's Brewing Company. It's a pretty popular Brooklyn brewery. But one of the owners tweeted out he compared like the authoritarianism around vaccine passports and mask mandates and and all that stuff, and he kind of compared it to Hitler, right? He was very careful. He's like, I'm not saying, he's a Jewish guy. He's like, I'm not saying this is like at the same level of like Auschwitz, but this is how it starts. And you got to learn from history that the authoritarianism, especially like what we saw in Canada, like those people are protesting, and they kind of removed them from the banking sector, and you can't. That kind of they fire you, they arrest you, they censor you, they sanction you as a citizen.
Heavily. Yeah,
and it fucks up your life, and that's concerning. And so he highlighted that, and he was attacked heavily in the local media here. I don't think it probably made national news, but it was like, it was on the. I heard about it a lot, and I was like, gosh, that place is only 20-minute walk from my apartment. So I went and hung out there one day, but
cool.
To support them. But it's like things that these people can't, they're taking a risk, especially in a place like my neighborhood. I live in Park Slope, Brooklyn, which is probably one of the most liberal neighborhoods in America. And if you're deviating from that at all as a business, that's
so
dangerous.
tolerant, so open.
And he actually he had, that was like 2 weeks ago. He resigned today or yesterday.
Oh wow.
He was like, I'm stepping out of the business. It's causing too much damage. All these local restaurants were like, we're dropping Three's Brewing because of his statement, which is a totally reasonable statement. It was,
on one hand, it's their choice. On B, they're completely overreacting, it would seem, to his statement. Like, and it's your choice where you buy stuff. It's also his choice to say what he says. You can disagree with it. Like, it's not out of bounds, so that's the weird part.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's true.
It's weird. Well, we'll think of the entertainment spotlight, but let's go around and do the I think it's time for the old happy ending. If you know when we're gonna wrap this one up, and
I've got your entertainment spotlight.
Oh, you think so? That's what she said. Yeah. Hey, thank you, Ralls.
Get your entertainment spotlight right here.
Right here. Boom.
No, it's falling back under your Western theme. The movie Open Range.
Oh, well done.
Sam Elliott, you would approve.
Yeah.
Nice.
Never heard of it.
Oh, really?
Never heard of it.
What? Are you serious?
It's got Kevin Costner and Robert
Duvall.
Got the best gunfight of any Western ever made.
Pretty good. That's a tall statement, Richard, but it's a pretty good one. Yeah.
It's definitely got the best beginning to any.
The kickoff is really good. I mean, are you? Yeah, right. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, and you recognize the guy he shoots too. He's that guy in a lot of movies and TV shows. So, yeah, great movie, great show, good call, Rawls. Man, you must have went to like the spirit world and drug that one up. That's awesome. Yeah,
it's a fun one to watch.
Hey, we have that vaporizer.
You do.
Rawls got a vaporizer behind his head.
Oh,
yes. Nice to have one when you got a wood stove.
no, every time I touch this damn thing, it starts making noise.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Facebook comments, but I can't get it on mute.
Well, usually it's on mute, and then I fiddled with it, and it went guano. Yeah. So.
Oh, what are the Facebook comments?
Well, Amy was giving Richard hell for being a bad Catholic, for one.
I deserve it.
Now I get.
She's just mad because they chomped down. She's just mad because I champed down 2 steaks while she was watching it.
Probably, yes.
I'm looking at it now.
I could hear it. Yeah.
My other girlfriend, Amy, she gave a bunch of hearts.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Nice. Beautiful. So next entertainment spotlight will be Open Range, picked by Raleigh. Also, still go watch Old Henry, so we can get to the spoilers on that one too. It would be nice if you get a chance. So, but well picked, Rawls. You want to do the kick off the happy ending there, Mr. Bigsby?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Don't have a whole lot to add for a happy ending or whatnot, but I'm just glad that spring's around the corner. That's all I can say.
Close.
It's been a long winter, and
60 days.
it's been a long winter, and be glad to have some green grass coming.
Wasn't daylight savings in a couple weeks?
I believe it is.
I think it's the 13th, if I'm not out of my gourd totally. So you can see it from here. Yeah,
that'll be good.
March. Yeah, that's viable. Yeah, Richard, happy ending me.
I did stop for a second. Why didn't you let Twitch out of the bathroom? Did he eat all his food, or did Dutch eat it?
Parenting right now.
Joel, you want to give us a happy ending while Richard parents?
Can you describe the parameters? What's happy ending? What's the segment again? I forget.
You came up with it. Big Daddy came up with it. Yeah,
I did.
Yeah. Instead of the best thing ever or whatever, we call it the happy ending now. Yeah. So go off on a high note, so to speak, because sometimes we get down the ditch, not talking about the best topics that people talk about.
Good thing that happened to me.
Final Joel thought, a good thing this week or something you're happy about or excited about, maybe. That's it.
Hey, I'll tell you a good thing that happened to me.
There we go.
So I'm going on a cruise on a ship this summer.
Good.
It's for Janet's retirement party.
For those of you listening along, Janet would be Joel's mom. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to Alaska.
Oh, cool.
But you have to stop in Canada, so you need a passport. And so I had to get a passport.
Oh, well done.
I used to have a passport, but then I accidentally threw it away, which complicated this matter further because I was like, I canceled it originally. Then I went to the DMV to get a New York ID, which is required in order to get a passport here. And then I was just dreading the experience of dealing with New York City passport people. I thought this would be a fucking nightmare. Similar to what it was like to get an ID. Just to get an ID. These people, man. Like, I go to the DMV in Pendleton to renew my license, and they're like, do you have $20? Like, I do. Like, okay. Give us the $20 and we'll do it. Like, here it's like, if you have your social security card from 40 years ago.
Exactly. You're like, what?
Copy your birth certificate. We need a copy of your driver's license, front and back. And we need blah, blah, blah. All these things. And then, so that was difficult. And you sit there in the waiting room for about 2 hours, I think it was there. So I thought the so I did all that in order to get a passport.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this is going to be a nightmare, but it was super smooth process. Like, I even photocopied I had to do a photocopy of my driver's license and my Oregon driver's license and my New York ID. And then you read the directions and it was like, you need a front and back of it. I did not have that. But they were like, no, don't worry about it. Good for you.
Forget about
So
it.
the good thing of the week was that process was very smooth.
Good thing you're planning ahead a little ways. Good job.
And I got to go to Canada.
Sorry. Yeah, don't cause any international incidents.
I'm looking forward to that cruise ship, though. That'll be
Cool.
fun. Hang out with Brian and Casey, and
Heck yeah. Janet.
it's like a Chinese themed ship, or Japanese maybe. I don't remember which one loves panda bears.
China.
Yeah, it's Chinese themed, but they've repurposed it for fucking Seattle to Alaska. It was made for like some China voyage.
So
And
the pictures in the background where you were lined up like that looked like Mickey Mouse ears first of all. And then you're like, it's China or Japan. I don't know which one likes pandas. Like, welcome to stereotype theater. And then I pictured like the like the junk, like the boats you see in like the harbor. That's what I pictured you guys were on the cruise. So I was totally cracking up on like 3 different fronts. But thank you.
it'll be fun. They have a casino and a bar. I'll be happy.
That's all you need. Yeah, you can torture Big Daddy the whole time, so it'll be awesome.
Yeah,
that's what brothers do. Richard, happy ending me.
Yep. Sorry about being distracted tonight.
No, it's good. You're doing like quadruple duty. Like, I'm thinking about weird stuff. Raleigh's sleeping. Joel's having a good time. It's all perfect, man. This is what Far Reaches is all about, dude. Life.
Waiting on a truckload of bulls that I found out was coming from California this morning.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then I sent them down there. They're 6. How many was there? 12. I think I sent 12 in a pickup and trailer, and they're coming back in which would have been handy if they sent them back in a pickup trailer. Then I could just put them with the other bulls. But no, coming on big trucks, so we have to go to the chute and unload them and dry lot them tonight. So yeah, he's about to roll in.
I was going to say, when they're going to get there.
He just called me from Lakeview, so shortly.
Okay.
And then what the hell? Enjoying preschool. That's been great.
Are you learning anything?
Yeah.
Are you sharing? Yeah. Like,
at a birthday party.
I just pictured you like in a little tiny chair, like, oh, this is awesome. Yeah. Like,
no, so that's exciting having Richard out here in Adel. Reminds me of when I was a kid. So
oh, for sure, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes, I'd say that's the highlight right now. It's nice that in a crazy world that there's little pockets of sanity, and other than when you went in and hang out with his grandparents at some science thing in down in California. He's never had to have a mask or worry about any COVID rules, so he won't ever remember how it happened. So
I'll just be like, was this real, Dad? Yeah.
And he's got a good diverse little school, a couple girls, and some multi-ethnical people. So he's going to get a well-rounded education. So anyways, and they play a lot. Yeah. So pretty happy with having a little protected mecca of old school education right here close at home.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. For me, let's see. I mean, for me, buddy I work with lives in Utah. Pretty good friend of mine. He's coming into town next week, I guess. And we are going to go to the Gator Nationals drag race on Saturday, which is like 10 minutes from my house. So I get to go see some NHRA top fuel dragsters and stuff and hang out in the cool part of the thing. So looking forward to that. We'll have probably a couple barbecues for everybody at work too at the same time since he's coming to town. So it's kind of cool. Yeah. So I'm excited. Anything else for the good of the order?
Nice of Ralls to Raleigh tonight.
I really no, dude, we're glad you fucking made it. We know it's not easy. So yeah, you can rest your eyelids a couple times. That's more than cool. Yeah. So yeah. It all is well.
The struggle is real.
It happens, brother. It happens. Wait till you're all fired. Like, we'll get him all fired up on something. He'll have like 4 hours of sleep. We won't be able to contain him. It's going to be like, yeah, hurricane balls. So it'll be. But he did rally for Open Range is the movie. entertainment spotlight. Hopefully, you can also catch in the other ones. But yeah, well, we definitely need to circle back. God, I can't believe I said that. She has totally ruined that phrase. We need to revisit Old Henry as well. So, but anybody else have anything for the good of the order? We got public grazing going on in Richard's kitchen. It looks like so.
He fed himself steak and now he's feeding.
And
Hey,
just throw some dog
did
food
we
on the
drink
floor
more
for the
than
boy
that?
and the dog so they could just fight it out. Yeah, so
oh, work.
that's freaking
We are
hilarious.
eating. That's good. 'cause everybody's
So we're gonna stop
eating
live
along.
stream and then nothing else. We'll wrap this one up too. I can't thank you guys enough for making it. Thanks again to our good friends at B&K Auto for making this come true. Whenever we average of it every week and a half, probably, I guess, if you had to do the math, but we say weekly. So yeah, we'll be back next time. We'll be talking about open range. Hopefully touch base on Old Henry as well. Keep the messages pouring in when you get a chance. We always like to hear from y'all, and we will see you all then. Until then, just remember, keep on reaching.